a variety of isometric exercises. Now, an isometric exercise simply means any exercise where you're contracting your muscle for time rather than lengthening or shortening your muscle, as we typically do when we're working out with more conventional movements such as, a squat or a bicep curl. There's some huge benefits of isometric exercises. Namely, you can do them anywhere because all you need is your body. They're also really effective at injury prevention as well as building strength. And an added benefit is they are really good for power production, okay? So if you think of explosive strength, you can get that also from isometrics. Another thing I love about them is they require a lot of focus, and I think can help us to calm down in a time when otherwise we're sort of frantic and stressed. So I'm going to take you through a whole bunch of different isometric exercises. The way I recommend incorporating these into a workout is do each one for the longest amount of time that you can, and then rest really anywhere between 30 seconds to a full minute, depending on how long you've been able to hold that contraction for. So give yourself a good rest, move on to the next exercise, and then come back to the one exercise you started with and do them all in a circuit fashion like that. Let me know if you have any questions. I think it's a great way to change the stimulus and get a really good workout with just your body. So stay active, stay healthy, and be brave. The first isometric we're going to do is simply a squat. So if you don't have great mobility in either your hips or your ankles, I recommend elevating your heels a little bit on some plates. And then all you're going to do is sink down into a squat. Now you want to make sure that your quads are parallel with the ground. Okay, so if you need to prop your heels up a little bit more, do so. And then you really want to work to keep that chest up, shoulders back, and knees pressing out. And then you're going to hold this for time. So shoot for 20 to 30 seconds. If you can do more, great. Okay, you're just going to hold it. And that's your first isometric exercise. This one is really going to blow you away. Now you do need something other than your body for this. You need a towel. Okay, hopefully you have one of those. So you're going to stand on the towel, get a really good grip on it, and then pull up, maintaining a nice squat position. Okay, so you're just creating a ton of tension in your quads, in your glutes, and your back here. And you're going to hold that as long as you can. Our next one is a split squat or a lunge. So you're going to get into a staggered stance lunge position, lunge down until your knee is a couple inches off the ground. Okay, you don't want to be resting on the ground because remember, this is muscle contraction for time. So you're up, okay, chest is upright, knee is tracking over the toe. Okay, so it's in line with the toe, and then you're just going to hold this again for as long as you can. Then when you're done, go ahead and switch your stance. Okay, so same thing, come down and hold it. All right, make sure you give yourself a good rest between sets. Have fun with that. Okay, moving into our upper body, our next isometric is going to be a push-up. So you are just going to hold this position, okay? Now, a few things to think about. Shoulders should be down and back, okay, not up here. And you want your chin to be tucked so that your neck is in line with your spine, all right? And then you're gonna hold this position as long as you can. Now, keep that core nice and tight. Don't let your hips sag down, and enjoy that. After you're done with the push-up, if your core hasn't had enough, then you can drop down into a plank. So the difference between a push-up and a plank is the push-up we're up high, the plank you're on your forearms, okay? Now, when you're doing that plank, I want you really contracting your abdominals, your erectors, your lats, okay? This should be a really, really challenging exercise for up to 20, maybe 30 seconds. If you're holding it for much longer than that, you're not contracting those muscles enough. Okay, so get into that low plank position and really, really squeeze. Another isometric you might be familiar with is hollow hold. So after you've done your plank, you're gonna flip over and lay down. And the most important thing here is keeping that lower back in contact with the floor. Okay, and so you wanna hold this position, again, as long as you can. Now, if you need to make it a little bit easier, go ahead and bring your arms in front of you. And then if you need to make it easier, lift those legs, okay? Work to be able to hold this position for 20 seconds, then rest. I like to rest 10 seconds and then go right back into it 20 more seconds. Okay, that's a good way to work up some muscular endurance in your core. But again, we're going for overall total amount of time that you can contract those muscles. And the most important thing with the hollow hold, remember, is keep that lower back in contact with the floor. Our next one is the leg extension. So you're gonna do this as a unilateral exercise, or at least that's how I prefer to do it. So what that means is you're just gonna do one leg at a time. Now, all I'm doing here is straightening my leg and then contracting my quad. I am squeezing my quad as hard as I can. And again, I'm gonna hold this for time. Okay, as I start to fatigue, my leg is gonna lower, and that probably means I'm done. Okay, so you wanna be able to hold this contraction as long as you can, keeping your leg about parallel. Okay, then once you're done, switch to the other leg. Now, try to keep that chest upright. Try to not grip the box, okay? And just work to hold that leg up, squeeze that muscle. That's gonna be a killer workout. Okay, now to round out our exercises, we are going to do an isometric glute bridge. So you're going to lay down. Heels should be close enough to your butt so you can tap your fingers with them. Chin should be tucked, so give yourself a nice double chin. Then you're going to lift your hips up into the air and squeeze those glutes harder than you ever thought you could squeeze them. And you're simply gonna hold that contraction for time. Okay, so squeeze those glutes. And then when you're done, come on down, rest, and repeat. All right, so there's a whole variety of isometric exercises for you. Oftentimes changing the stimulus or the way that we work out has a ton of benefits. So give them a try, let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you.